Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 111 of my brand new Comics Haul series, where I show you guys all the new books that I pick up at my local comic shop every week, and I tell you everything you need to know about every single issue. This week I've got, I think, like 7 or 8 issues. It ended up being a way bigger week than I thought it would be. Some good independent stuff, as well as a few Marvel issues, and then I've got a collection from Image that I'll show at the very end. That just started off strong here, though, with probably the biggest issue of the week, one that people have been hyping up and anticipating and speculating about for a while now. This is Amazing Spider-Man 25, right? So it's a big oversized issue. You got to pay $7 for this book. I dropped this series, though. I'm going to come out and say it. Number 26 is going to be my last issue. I just wanted to finish off this story arc to find out what actually happened to Mary Jane, like it says in the cover right here. But looking inside, I think this issue gives us more of like an actual explanation for what happened with those powers that she had in like the Mary Jane and Black Cat series. How was she able to get those powers was never explained in that series, so they're saving it for Amazing Spider-Man, I guess. Overall, though, this series has been very disappointing. Honestly, it's just never been too consistent. There's been some good issues sprinkled in like here and there, but definitely like pretty word light issues. There's not too much dialogue. A lot of the times it kind of feels like I'm getting ripped off, to be completely honest, but kind of good artwork in here. We've got a guest artist as well as John Romita doing some of the artwork in the back of the issue. Yeah, so here's some John Romita artwork. Not really loving this whole Mary Jane storyline where she has kids and everything. I think they totally destroyed like a kind of some good progression that Spidey and Mary Jane had going in their relationship and everything that's now just over. So kind of a bummer series, if I'm being completely honest. Let me know what you guys are thinking of it so far, though. I'm dropping it after 26, but if you're still sticking on board for the coming future, let me know why. But next up from Marvel Comics, we've got the start of a new miniseries, pretty big release here also. This one is Extreme Venomverse #1. So this is number 1 of 5, right? And this is leading into that Death of the Venomverse event that's going to be going on, I think, in August. They're publishing the issues weekly. So this isn't necessary reading by any means, but it just gives you like 3 short stories in every new issue about different new Venomverse characters. So different versions of Venom across the multiverse. We've had a couple Venomverse events that have already happened. So Death of the Venomverse, it seems, is going to be like kind of a conclusion to a trilogy. And yeah, so some interesting characters are going to be debuting throughout the series. Honestly, I think this first issue might be kind of boring compared to the other ones. Like, we're getting like a Jeff the Landshark Venom and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. Some like baseball player Venom later on. So this first issue might not be the greatest compared to everything else, to be honest. But yeah, pretty good artwork in here. I'll be curious to see what the deal is with this. I didn't get the new Edge of Spider-Verse miniseries, but I think Venomized character is a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. So trying out that miniseries. Next up from Marvel, though, this one isn't set in the Marvel Universe, but it's one that I have been recommending so far. This is Miracle Man, the Silver Age. This is number 5. It's been a while since number 4 came out. They had like a big, creative break in between for whatever reason, but this series was long in the making. The creative team behind this run of Miracle Man, which is Neil Gaiman writing and Mark Buckingham, and the artwork, took a really big break in like a switch between publishers. It's been like 25 years since they were able to continue their run, and now under Marvel, they're finally publishing new issues for the first time in a long time. It's this interesting world where Miracle Man is this hero that was able to build like a utopia with his powers along with other alien races. And so far this series has been dealing with Miracle Boy. Is that his name? I think so. It's been a while since an issue has come out. And him being resurrected, who's like Miracle Man's childhood friend, right? And now this utopia has been built. He's figuring out what the deal is with everything. He kind of doesn't really feel at home. And yeah, it's been a great, series so far. It looks like we're getting like reprints of old issues in the back there. So I don't know about that, but good series so far. I think we've got one more issue after this, and hopefully they've got more coming after that. So I do recommend that one. It's been kind of going under the radar. Next up, though, last one from Marvel, I've got Cosmic Ghost Rider, issue 3. I don't have too much to say about this series, but I have really been liking it so far. Just a pretty simple plot line. We've got this other version of Cosmic Ghost Rider, this evil version that's been popping up and going around the galaxy killing hundreds of people. It's all been blamed on the real Cosmic Ghost Rider, Frank Castle, who's actually gone into hiding. He's kind of retired on this planet where he was working with like a bartender and his daughter, but things went up in flames as like bounty hunters are now coming for the actual Cosmic Ghost Rider and blaming him for the deaths that this other Cosmic Ghost Rider has been causing. We've already got a different artist on this issue. I don't know what the deal is with that. The main artist is already off, Juan Cabal, right? So I'm not sure what's going on there, but the artwork looks okay in here. We'll see how the series continues to be. It's only a mini-series, but writing by Stephanie Phillips on this book is probably the highlight. So Cosmic Ghost Rider number 3. Next up, though, I've got a DC issue. This is the second issue of a new Sandman Universe series. This is Nightmare Country, The Glass House, #2. Creepy looking cover there. I like the first issue. I can't remember everything that happened in it, to be honest. I'm trying to remember, but, these things escape you sometimes. It looks like we've also got guest art on this issue. This is like a trend, having guest art on like second or third issues of miniseries. Not sure exactly why, but yeah, it's following, I think it was like a journalism writer, or it was someone who was like at a company who's seeing the same like kind of smiling man that the character in the last Nightmare Country series saw, right? And it's connected to the Corinthian, who's like the embodiment of nightmares in the Sandman universe. I've only read some of the Sandman series, so sometimes there's like references to characters and stuff that kind of fly over my head since I haven't completed that Neil Gaiman run that was so famous. But yeah, this is James Tynion IV writing this, so it's definitely worth picking up, and I recommend it so far. But maybe not made for people who haven't read too much Sandman universe stuff like me. Next up, though, I've got a couple issues from Image, and then I'll show that collection I was telling you guys about. First one here is another one that hasn't come out in a while, but this is Junkyard Joe #6. It's the last issue of the series. It costs $5, but I think it's an oversized issue. And this has also been a really good one. It's Jeff Johns writing and Gary Frank doing the artwork, right? They've done a bunch of stuff at DC together, but this is their new like shared superhero universe where it's telling the stories of a bunch of American heroes across like a really long timeline, ranging from I think like the 1800s all the way to the far future, which is where that Geiger miniseries was set, right? And it's all called The Unnamed, but this Junkyard Joe miniseries has been centering around this this robot soldier that was created for the Vietnam War and about his war buddy, what's his name, Muddy Davis or something like that, who served with Junkyard Joe in the army and could barely believe his eyes when he saw him like defending the troops. But then he went on after becoming a veteran and like made a comic strip about Junkyard Joe that became famous, and now it's set in the future when he meets Junkyard Joe again. So really creative idea. I've been liking it a lot. People are trying to hunt down Junkyard Joe. The government is to get him back and everything. So definitely a recommendation. I'm sure they'll have a trade paperback out soon for this, and that's probably the best way to read it. Last single issue I got this week, though, is also from Image. This one is Saga, #64. Still a good series. It comes out a lot less frequently now, though. They're taking 6-month breaks every time they finish up a storyline, so it's going to take a while for the series to finish up and get all its issues out and all that. But yeah, it's still centering around Alana, her daughter Hazel, and her new adopted brother, Prince Robot, right? His son. So it's all these characters in this shared universe if you haven't read Saga. And basically, Hazel is the main character, right? It's been following her growing up. She's like the result of a crossbreed between two warring alien factions. So that's led to a lot of drama, people hunting her down. It's just a really well-written series with good character interactions and everything. And amazing artwork by Fiona Staples in here. Always worth picking up Saga. I know it has a really strong fan base, and there's always going to be people picking this up until it ends. So I'll stick with it. That's Saga #64 right there. Lastly, though, like I said, I got a collection this week. It's still in its plastic wrapping. I don't think I'm going to take it out just quite yet because I've still got to get ready to read it and everything. But this is the Bone Orchard Mythos 10,000 Black Feathers. So this is that Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino horror universe that they started recently. And they're coming out with like miniseries and like original graphic novels and stuff as well as like maxi series, I think. And collecting all of them in these hardcovers, but they all connect to each other in different ways. And I guess the common ground is just that they're all different horror series. So I won't harp on this too long because I really have no idea what it's even about. I haven't heard too much about this series or like the synopsis or anything from when they were coming out with it in single issues. But I'm looking forward to this because that first miniseries that they did, The Passageway, was really, really good. I loved that one, so I had to pick this up. Creepy looking artwork in the back here. I also got this with my store credit, so it was free, which is nice. So looking forward to reading that 10,000 Black Feathers. But that was my new comic book day. Those were all the new issues I picked up. A lot bigger of a week than I thought it would be, and I've still got some reading to catch up on. So I've got to get down and make sure to do that. Let me know what you guys picked up this week, though, down in the comment section below. What are you looking forward to reading? Or which issue is your favorite this week if you already read them? If you're enjoying the content and you're not already subbed up to the channel, make sure to do that also. It's the big button right below the video. Really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next week for next week's haul. Bye, guys.